So today I'm going to be talking about some of the things I did to shed weight between the month of to shed 12 kg precisely between the month of August 2024 and January 2025. I know we have been waiting for this video, so here we are right now about to dive in. My name is Emiki Usuma. I am delighted to have you here again. If this is your first time, welcome on board. Thank you for joining our growing family. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I do not take you for granted at all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, straight into what we're talking about today. Now, this is going to be, I don't think I can finish this in one video, and I cannot also predict or determine how many videos this is going to be, how many episodes this is going to be, but I know it's not one video, right? I'm also hoping to bring my husband on board because we have been on the journey together. So yeah, but this is the first of these videos. So straight into what we're talking about today. The journey for me has been a blend of several things, right? I don't have one particular thing that I did that I said, oh, this was what produced results for me. It was a combination of several things, okay? So first and foremost, I like to um, help you adjust your mindset as you're approaching this. Maybe in 2025, it's part of your goals to shed a particular number of kilograms, right? And like I always like to interject and emphasize, it is not just about losing weight. It is not just about losing weight because if that is your focus, when you have lost the desired weight you want to lose, you're going to pick it back up. But when your focus is that I want to be fit, I want to be fit. I want to be this woman who is staying here long enough to fulfill her destiny in God as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner, as a minister. You want to be here for a long time in a body that is healthy, that is going to help you keep running for a long time. If that is your goal, fitness, right? Being in a place where you have the right energy level, then you're going to be able to sustain the journey. But if it's just to drop your weight and just look a certain way, trust me, you're going to pick it back. Okay. So, having said that, the next thing I'd like you to fix your mind on is the fact that it's going to take a lot of work. Please forget about quick fixes, forget about any shortcut. I don't have any shortcut, I don't know any shortcut. It came with a lot of sweat, right? A lot of effort, a lot of intentionality, a lot of sacrifices. Okay. I know that the media sells a lot of options to us on how to shed weight. There are certain drinks you take, they'll tell you, oh, lose weight in 10 days, lose 10 kg in 3 weeks, lose 10 kg in 2 weeks, and some will tell you there are pills you need to take and all of that. If it is not sustainable, if it is not going to require your commitment and your dedication, trust me, you're not going to keep that weight. You're not going to keep that new weight that you're going to achieve from those things you're drinking, those drinks, those teas, and whatever they are, right? You must remember that. But what you need to fix your gaze on is on something that requires your time, your dedication, and your commitment, something that can become a lifestyle. So first thing I'm going to talk about is documentation. Have you documented your weight, or are you just bothered about losing weight because of how you look? What are the books saying? So that's the first place to start. That was the first place I started because over the years I was someone who did not even check her weight. I was never a scale person. I think I never thought I needed to. I was always mostly in a slim frame. So I felt like, oh, using a scale was for people that were, plus size, right? So I had that wrong mindset. And also I was just mindless about that. So the only time I paid attention to my weight was when I was in the season where I was having babies. So during pregnancy, when you go for antenatal, they'll take our weight, we'll do all of that, and then they'll document it. So in those seasons of pregnancy, I was always interested in what I weighed all through pregnancy, like until 2024. You can imagine, 2024 was when I began to check my weight. Even when I started walking as something I was doing off and on since 2019. Like sometimes when I drop the kids in school, I'd walk, I was not consistent. But even when I started doing that, I was not in touch with what I weighed until 2024. You know, um, I took a scale for the first time. For the first time, I was like, let me even see what I really weigh. And what triggered this was that my dad came to visit me in May 2024. My dad has not seen me since 2021. And my father is a man who gave birth to daughters who are in slim frames, right? So he was used to seeing all of us slim. Okay, he did not see any of us when we were pregnant. I don't think he saw any of us when we were heavy. So he was just used to seeing his daughter slim, right? So when he came to the house, then I've already added so much weight, and he was like, ah, you've added weight too. You need to work on it. Can you just drop, even though it's 5 kg, right? And I said, okay, I'll work on it. That was when I was like, what do I even weigh? Before then, people had been talking. Yeah, I didn't even, I feel like all people they like to talk, right? I of course I knew I was seeing myself. I have mirrors. I knew my dress size kept shifting upwards, But that day after my father left, I said my father is saying he has never told me anything about weight. I was like, no, let me pay attention to what is going on. So I went on the scale and then I discovered I was weighing 93 kg. And then I was like, I became worried actually. Then for the first time, I documented that. Then the next thing I did, I was like, okay, let me go and actually do a proper research. What should people my height, my age, and my gender weigh? So when I entered all of that, I searched several sites and I discovered that the results kept coming back saying that I was actually officially obese. And then they began to talk about the health implications, the kind of illnesses, diseases that you could now become exposed to. Yes, that was when I realized that this young lady, this woman, you got work to do. You need to sit down, step back, and begin to pay attention to this thing. So I realized that no, I've been playing since, and I needed to get serious about, you know, uh, checking my overall fitness. So that first thing documentation opened my eyes. It made me understand what I was combating. And it brings to mind the scripture that says, write the vision, make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. Right? So if you have not written down what you weigh, you've not documented where you are at, right? You're not in touch with the consequences of whatever it is that you weigh, not just because, oh, you want to look a certain way, or you want to wear a particular dress, you want to prepare these people. No. When you write down these things, like this is where I am right now, until you do that, you are not ready yet. You get on what they call yo-yo diet. You run today, jog tomorrow, sign up in a gym like I did like twice, and then forfeit the gym membership after going like twice. So you need to first and foremost document where you are. So after I had documented where I was, the next thing I did was that the moment it now got to me was getting to my emotions. And like I said, I was not really bothered about what people were saying. Of course, what people would say could also get to you, but nothing got to me like coming face to face with what the scale was saying, the real consequences of being where I was, and especially knowing that it was like I was progressing. I was going to even get bigger. I was going to add more weight. And when I got to that place, I remember one day I even cried. Save like when I told my husband, no, I don't want this. I want to lose weight. I don't want to be like this. No, 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 I don't like it. I don't like it. And then he was like, don't worry, we're in this together. We're going to work on this together, right? So I actually prayed. For the first time I prayed, I was like, God, help me. I don't know what to do. Because even at that time, after my dad came in May, I started walking. We increased our walking. We were walking like 3 times a week, but I was not seeing results. So for the first time, I actually prayed about it. And I asked God to help me, to show me what to do. Because before then, after my dad came to visit in May, I we started walking, became more consistent in walking, right? We're walking and yeah, walking like thrice a week. We started doing that seriously in June, right? It became a part of our daily routine. We became really consistent. June, the children were wrapping up school. Then July, they were on holiday, so we kept walking in July. But I was not seeing any change in July. But I was walking. In fact, in July, we're now walking Monday to Friday, my husband and I. I was not seeing any change. My husband was even seeing, dropping like maybe half kg a week and all that, but I was not moving anywhere. So by the time we got to um, July, got into August, that was when I prayed. That was when I was so troubled. I said, God, please help me. I'm walking. I'm doing all this. Walk around within our neighborhood and all of that. And I was not seeing any result. So after I prayed, I think the next day or 2 days later, see, trust me, God is not this spiritual being we just lock up in the cathedral and say, oh, God is only for spiritual. No, we can get very religious and cut God out of our lives. I thank God that somehow God has helped me to incorporate his presence into everything that I do. I'm about to cook, maybe it's a new recipe. I pray, I ask the Holy Spirit to help me. And most times it looks like God is just waiting for you to ask. He may be there, you'll be there for a long time, just waiting. Can this child just ask me? Can she just, click that button? Can she just activate that principle? So the moment I prayed, 2 days later, I was just on my phone, I was on Instagram. And for no reason, this particular website came up, maybe because I've been searching also on Google about my weight and all of that. So this particular Instagram handle popped up. I'm going to write the name of that particular handle so you could follow her. So I was really intrigued by what she was sharing. She just made it simple. And one of the things she said that got my attention was that you can still enjoy Nigerian meals and lose weight and be healthy and fit. I was like, okay, because some of the things I see, you see some green things, bitter herbs, just very bland things. And then those things used to get me very discouraged. So I'm gonna tell you, don't eat rice again, don't eat bread at all, don't touch carbohydrate, just eat no manner of nonsense. So I went through her page, I saw testimonials, I saw how she broke down everything, and then she said something I never really paid attention to. She talked about creating a calorie deficit, and that was the thing that was missing. And then it was like a light went on in my head. I realized that because of the nature of my work, right? I'm a writer, I'm an editor, I'm a proofreader. I sit a lot to work. So once the kids are gone to school and I resume work, I could just sit there like that till for several hours. Maybe I just get up to take a pee break, and maybe get up to eat. So, but because sitting down is quite demanding and it just makes you, it's quite boring, can get easily boring. So while I'm there, one of the things that fuels me is I just look for things to snack on. I'll eat granules, I'll eat biscuits, I'll eat bread, I'll eat anything available. Sometimes the what I ate for breakfast, if it's leftover, I will serve it again, and it's not lunchtime. I would eat. Then when it's lunchtime, I would eat. When it's after lunch, I will eat. When my children don't finish their food, I will eat. Then it hit me like this is what I've been doing wrong. I thought walking was this magic wand. As long as you walk, you're just going to lose weight. I was like, oh wow, this is what I've been missing. Creating a calorie deficit, you know. So that was the next thing I did. I got on that page. I got in touch with what it meant to create a calorie deficit. So walking and jogging and gymming is not enough. You must look at what you are consuming, how you are consuming what you are consuming. So when I reached out to her, or I reached out to them, and then someone spoke to me, and we had this detailed questions. She asked me lots of questions because what they basically do is that they create a customized meal plan for you. Now, know that it's a customized meal plan. I cannot even share it. I can't share with any of my siblings. I can't share with anybody. So we had to they had to ask me certain questions around my health and all of that. One other thing I'd like to say is that you should check with your doctor before you embark on any of these things, okay? You need to know where your blood sugar is and all of that. So those answers, knowing those answers about your blood pressure and all of that and any medical history will help them give you a meal plan that is safe for you, that's going to produce results, okay? That's why it's not really realistic for us to share it. The closest you can do is like um, maybe sharing with your spouse if you also know what their present health condition is. You can do that, but I don't really advise you sharing with friends and all of that. Okay, so I said that because my husband uses the same meal plan, but our portions are slightly different. Okay, that's the difference in how we eat. Okay, and also they asked me my preference. Generally, I'm not a sugar person. Okay, so I can actually drink Lipton tea long before now. I'm already used to drinking Lipton tea without sugar. For many years now, I've been doing that. I don't even miss anything. So I'm not really a sugar person, okay? So they worked based on the things I naturally prefer. I think my only issue was really quantity, like portion control. I didn't control portions. I just ate whenever I felt like eating. There were no boundaries. There were no limits. So that was the major issue I had. So I provided them with details about what I eat, what makes up my regular meals and all of that, my preferences. So they prepared my meal plan based on this. Now, where do they come in? They bring in their expertise of knowing and understanding the calorie values or the calorie that every food item contains. Okay, so based on that, they prepare the meal plan and tell you the portion, the quantity for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, they also include snacks. Okay, so that time of day where you feel like eating, you feel like just snacking on stuff, They tell you what kind of snack, the quantity, what you should eat as snacks. It really exposed me to a lot of things I had erroneous beliefs about. For example, I used to drink smoothies a lot. I didn't know I was doing it the wrong way. I just felt like, well, as long as it is a fruit, so it doesn't matter the quantity. So I'll take a lot of smoothies. Then these freshly squeezed juices that they sell in many supermarkets. I bought them a lot, especially on Sundays and away from church. I'll drink 2 bottles, right? When we come back from church, I'll first maybe on the way I'll drink one to like quench my thirst, and then later in the evening I'll drink the second one. Those things were loaded with calories, and I was not even conscious of how much calories each bottle contained until I met this particular platform. I think it's called Optimum Foodie. Optimum Foodie. It's on Instagram and they go by that name, Optimum Foodie. So that began to open my eyes. Then I began to research myself, to find out, what calories, how much calories are in this particular meal. Okay. So that was a major shift we had to make, creating a customized meal plan for us that showed us what we're taking in, what we're consuming, the number of calories we're eating per day, what our body needed, and the deficit we needed to create, right? So the next point also speaks to documentation, right? So, I told you initially that what you don't write down, you cannot really have a plan around. Just like a lot of us have a lot of dreams, desires, they're just wishes in our head. They are not goals because they're not written anywhere. When I became conscious of my calorie intake and all of that, I actually took it a step further. Even though I had this meal plan, I downloaded a particular app called Fastic app. Fastic app. So Fastic app gives you what is it called? Intermittent fasting plans. I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But it also helps you calculate your calories. So what to do? You just scan your meal with Fastic app, and then they will give you feedback on how many calories are in that meal. Okay. So sometimes it may not be exactly accurate, but it's in a correct range. Okay. So I got that, and that began to help me to know how much I was eating for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. So I had spoken about documentation. So from the moment I began to use that Fastic app and then this meal plan, that gave me an idea of how many calories I was consuming a day, especially with the Fastic app, because the Fastic app was giving me breakdown per meal. So when I'm conscious, when I write it down, if I stores it on your phone, you have your own dashboard and everything. So when I noticed that, okay, this morning I ate 500 calories, it is not in my head, right? It's something I've documented. So it became a guide. So it just created in me, it was like an automatic, what's it called, heightened sense of responsibility and commitment. Now I knew what I had eaten. It was not like then when I would just fry eggs and eat anyhow. In fact, um, when it comes to eating fried eggs, having that meal plan actually just liberated me in so many ways. I had no idea that I was supposed to be mindful of the calories in vegetable oils, even though we call them healthy oils. In fact, in any kind of healthy oil, they contain calories. So you know how we just pour it in the frying pan as the spirit leads, right? So with her, I learned to measure everything that I take in. So I'm going to show you in my next video several items that you must have if you're going to be successful on this journey. So one of those items is a set of measuring spoons and cups. So I began to measure my oil and all of that when I'm frying. So I know I'm able to summarize, right? And to know how many calories are in this food I just ate. So because I knew how many calories I had eaten for breakfast, there was always a check and it became effortless. Why? I had written it down. Again, that scripture comes to mind. Write the vision, make it plain, that he may run that reads it, right? So I had that documented and it began to help me. I was able to control. My husband and I were able to now control what we were doing, what we were taking in. Okay. And then because we also now had specific snacks. So those times when I'm having cravings in the middle of the morning, before 12 noon, she had snacks that we're supposed to take. So I had those ready and I would eat it, right? So that was another thing that really began to help us produce results. My people, you have no idea, or you cannot imagine my joy and my ecstasy when I climbed the scale after 1 week. So I checked my weight on Saturday before, after using the meal plan for 1 week. My people, I had lost 1 kg. I was so jubilant. It was not even up to 1 kg. I think it was half kg. I lost 0.5 kg, like half kg, right? I had lost half kg. I was so excited. I celebrated that half kg because this was me who was just steadily climbing up the ladder in my weight gain. I was so jubilant, and that really encouraged me. So because I saw results, I had no option than to stay on course. So yeah, so another thing that helped us, apart from these things I've spoken about, another thing that helped us was that when she gave us the meal plan, she also mentioned that when you combine using this meal plan consistently with walking an average of 7,000 steps a day, you're going to see results. So by that time, my husband and I were already walking 10,000 steps a day, right? So I had a smartwatch that I used to measure my steps every day. So that was why I was really worried because I was already doing 10,000, 7,000 to 10,000 steps every day, and yet I was not seeing any result. Do you get? So now I discovered that the missing link. I discovered what I was not doing right. It was not paying attention to the calories I was consuming, okay, and what exactly I was even eating generally. So she put that clause in there that you should walk at least 7,000 steps. So don't say, it was Emike that said we can do this when you eat this and eat that, you're going to begin to see results. Then you're not seeing results because you're still sitting down like the mama upon the throne. You're not moving anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're inside the house. No, you have to combine active movement with being on a specialized meal plan. So don't forget that part, okay? So in another video also, I'm going to talk about how to incorporate increasing your steps into your daily life, your daily routine, if you don't have my kind of routine. Okay, I am my own boss, so I'm not rushing by 4 a.m. to beat traffic to go to any office anywhere. Okay, so I'm able to do that work in early hours of the day before I get into my work for the day. Okay? So one key thing you must remember is that this journey requires a lot of patience. Don't work today and say I did not lose weight tomorrow. No, it's not magic, right? So you have to be patient with yourself. You have to remember that you are building a lifestyle. So it's not magic. It's not a pill you swallowed. It's not a particular tea you drank and then your waist became snatched, like they say. Okay, you are incorporating these activities into your life, and you're going to be doing them for a long time to come. Okay, so never forget that part. Okay, don't be patient with yourself. Don't be in a hurry. Don't compare your progress with someone else. Right? My husband and I have been on this journey together. We don't compare our progress. Okay, we are not, though we are actually our goal, our weight loss goal is actually the same. Funny enough. Okay, when we checked the scales, we checked online, we googled where we were and saw that we were both obese, like so we began to work on it together. But while we're doing that, we're not comparing our result. We're not, of course, we allow our result to inspire us, but we still remember that patience factor. As long as we're making progress, it is fine. Okay. So do not forget that part of being patient with yourself. You may have a baby, you may have an infant, and you are not able to really leave the house and walk. I'm going to recommend something you can do in your house, and you will see result in our next video. Right? So remember to like this video, to subscribe, to turn on the notification so that when I drop that video, you're going to be the first to know them. Thank you for watching. Remember to leave your comments if you have questions. I'll be happy to read from you. Till I come your way again, keep reading.